Good morning. I'd like to share with you a bit of information about what I call our Burundi connection. Nora referred to it last week when she spoke about volunteerism and the involvement with the family that we have sponsored and adopted into our congregation, and how it all started. And that really ties into my perspective, because in the past few years, I have, through one single connection, met 3 different Burundians that have come into the life of myself and Margaret. So Ansel was the first Burundian, and she came because she was living in Ottawa housing, and you know where that is, just a brisk walk away here up Maryville Road off Caldwell Avenue. And that's where the Carlington Community Chaplaincy is located, in an apartment at the bottom of one of the towers. And part of OHS's mandate is to provide temporary housing for newcomers coming into Canada, especially refugees, until they have a chance to get settled. So in 2011, the chaplain at that time met a young woman from Burundi. Her name is Ansel. And she asked him whether the chaplaincy could help her bring other members of the family to Canada. And he referred her to our church. Said, if you want help, go to Kitchissippi. And Ansel did, and the rest, as you say, is history. So in thinking about that, I have since met 2 others, and I'll talk about that another time. But the thing that hit me was the fact that we were launched on this journey because of our support and our involvement in the chaplaincy. And it has brought a lot of talent from this group to the support of the organization. And we actually had a meeting on Saturday where we assessed where we are now and where we want to go in the future. But that's for another time. But I would like to talk a little bit about Burundi. What's the story there? Why are so many people coming from Burundi to Canada? So we're going to take a quick look at it. Hope it won't be too boring. I have a few slides. So maybe we could put the first one up and say, okay, where is Burundi anyway? It's not making the headlines anymore in many ways, but it is located in Central Africa, with the Congo Republic to the west, and then Kenya and the East African countries on the opposite side. Let's take a look at the diagram so you can place exactly where the country is. It's just south of Rwanda, and at one time the 2 were one country. You see mentioned Bujumbura, that's the capital city, right on the coast of Lake Tanganyika in the northern part. And you've probably heard about Lake Victoria, one of the biggest lakes of Africa. Initially colonized by Germany, it became a Belgian Congo after the Second World War. Belgium was given it after the defeat of the Germans. And there were the 2 parts, as I said, Rwanda and Burundi. The Burundi part separated from Rwanda in 1962 and officially named Rwanda Urundi. But of course, they dropped the hyphenated name. It's a small country, only about 13 million people, but it's the breakdown of the population that's key to what happens lately. 85% are from the Hutu tribe, and 14% are from the Tutsi tribe. So the Hutu are in the majority, and that's where the problem came, because in 1993, the Hutu president was assassinated in a coup attempted by the army, which was mainly staffed by Tutsis. Tutsis had a reputation of being very warlike and not at all interested in cooperating. Over 100,000 people were killed and many more displaced. And it's the remnants of that rebellion that have fueled the travel of many Burundis out of the country to different parts of the world. Burundi, unfortunately, ranks among the poorest and least developed countries in the world. About 40% of the GDP is agriculture, mostly tea and coffee exports. And if you're thinking of ever going to visit Burundi, they suggest go in the dry season, between September and December. There are 3 very fine national parks to visit. So I have some slides to introduce them to you. Rusizi River National Park. They're very proud of their national parks, and if there are many tourists go, they make sure they go to them. And you can see this is a very, well, it's paradise for birds because of the presence of water. It's a very dry country, not much forest in Burundi. So the few rivers and lakes that fill up, especially in the rainy season, are a real treasure. Next one, Kibera National Park. There's a small area of Burundi that is forested, mainly in the mountain areas where they get enough rain for trees. And it's the real primeval forest, as it mentions. It's a unique space. And the next one is more traditionally what you might think of an African national park. The wildlife, the herds of deer and antelope, zebras and so forth, this is where you want to go if you want to visit. That's just a brief introduction to Burundi. The next time I'm up here, whenever it is, I'd like to take you a little bit further, and especially this connection with the chaplaincy that has brought 2 more Burundians to, certainly to be involved with me, and some of you have met at least one of them, and I won't tell you who it is and what he was doing. So till next time, that'll do it. Thank you.